Hey everyone, welcome to the day one of Learning Generative AI. So I'm Jay, and I'll be sharing my learning experience, like what are the things I'm following, what are the things I'm doing to learn generative AI. We'll be starting from the mathematics. Obviously, it will be not be like that kind of mathematics that we are very scared of. So stay tuned and stay connected. And if you are a beginner and looking for any AI video, which will be definitely easy and easy to understand. So this video is right for you. So do not skip and watch till the end. And one more thing, if you are a beginner, like if you don't know like how to code with Python, like at least you do not have that basic understanding of Python, then I would suggest you go and watch some videos like how to program in Python, then come here. All right, so today what is the plan? Actually, today we'll learn like how AI perceives and understands our images or videos or text messages, okay, using the scalar vector, how the matrices, scalar and vectors are used in AI. Like simply like if you talk about scalar, vector and matrix or tensors, like in physics or mathematics, they do not teach about the real life application. So we're going to learn about like how these things are used in day-to-day life in AI. All right, so let's understand whether like what are the images when we upload in Gemini or ChatGPT, whether they can understand it or not. Let's understand that. Now listen, if you upload, suppose I'm uploading this cat image, okay, and I'm thinking that this image is being understood by any AI tool like Gemini or ChatGPT, they understand the image. No, they cannot see the image, or not only the image, they cannot even read or see the video, whatever video you're uploading, or changing or making some changes in the video or any content. So they cannot understand that. Then how do they understand? Well, the simple answer is the images are changed to numerical vectors. If you don't understand, that's fine. This is the first video, and I'll clarify everything. Well, so these numbers, these pictures are changed to numerical numbers, like numerical vectors, I would say. Like, suppose here I have a cat image, then the cat image will change to some vectors. Then only the AI tool will understand whether this is a cat or a dog. Okay. And not only this, anything, suppose you're writing any text message, suppose I would say, let's wait. Um, suppose you're writing like, like, let me just say, yeah, got it. Suppose you're writing, hey, Jay, how are you? I'm definitely fine. Well, so if you're writing something like this, then how like the AI tool understands, hey Jay, how are you? What are you trying to ask? How do they understand? It's very simple. Each of these words, these hey Jay, how are you? They are not only represented as a word, they are represented as vectors like this: 0.1, 0.6, 0.8, something. This also represented as a vector. This also represented as a vector. This also represented as a vector, and this also. So we have to represent all the data, whatever text messages you're uploading or whatever images you're uploading. So we have to represent everything in the data. Okay, if you're asking them how to convert them, how to convert this A into this such type of vector, how to change the J to such type of vector. Well, for that we have a neural network model, like what to vec word to vec. That means these models will change the word. Like suppose we have written hey, say, they will change the word into vectors. Like as you can see, I have changed the word. Now, this is not the exact vector, but based on your model, they will have a separate vector for them. Got it? So this is what we call, this is how the AI perceives our data. Let's understand, if you know what is the importance of scalar, vector, and matrices in AI, then let's understand what is a scalar. Scalar is nothing but a simple point. Suppose if I write if someone asks you, how old are you? How old uh, are you? then what would you answer? What would be your answer? If they said, I'm 18 or I'm 20, or say I'm 20, 30, hey, one number only, one number, only one person can be only 20 years, 30 years old. It can simultaneously it cannot be 20 and 30. So suppose in AI, what is the application of scalar? Scalar is simple point. If they say in AI model, like sometimes suppose I'm just predicting the house price of a stock price. Suppose that the stock. You know how the stock price goes up and down, right? This is how the stock. I want so this is here we are. I want or this is here we are. I want to predict the tomorrow stock price. Then how can I do? I have the past data here. Here is my past data. So I will feed this past data to my model, and my model will predict the answer. Are you getting my point? Now the thing is, sometimes, not all sometimes, always, model cannot give you 100% accuracy. 100% accuracy. That means there is a chance of error. There is a chance of error. So, to eliminate this error, we have something called learning rate. Learning rate. What happens? We have to define a value. Machine learns on its own. Okay. So we have to define this value, suppose 0.01. So what is the learning rate? Learning rate is nothing but simply, I would say, it's the process, is the rate. It's the rate in which the model learns, the model learns, the model learns how to predict correctly. Now, suppose my actual price was 200. That is the opening price. Now, closing price was, the closing price was 250. Now, I want to predict what will be the tomorrow's opening price. Now, when I predicted, it was 270. But when I matched that with actual data, it was 210. So that means, what is the error? 270 minus 210. That means 60. Oh my God. So if there is a mismatch of prediction and reality. So to avoid that, to reduce that error, we need we have something called learning rate. And such learning rates are stored as a scalar number. Only one value. Only one value. So what is scalar? Is simply a point. It's simply a point. Then what is a vector? It do not have only one point, but you have multiple points like this one in a proper order. This is called a vector. I'll give a simple example. Let's imagine, let's imagine, you're in a class. Suppose I asked you like, what's the total percentage you got in the last PTC exam? One student told me, sir, I got 83 percentage. Oh my God, oh my God. You just blown me away, man. So you got 83 percentage. Okay, that's fine. But if I have to write that, I will write like this. Yadav got 83 percentage. But now we do not have only one student, we have more than one student. Like we have Nandi, something like a straight name. He got 72%, and Yasu got 35%. I is the weakest one in the class. And Jay, that's me, who got 33%, just a pass mark. Okay, that's very sad for me. So if I have this type of data, then what should I do? How will I store them? Definitely, I'm going to use vector like this. I would say like percentage, this is my file, percentage equal to, okay? Now I have, what is that? 83, comma, 72, comma, 35, comma, 33. You understand? Now, as I have mentioned here, and I'm telling that this is a vector. Then what do you understand when I say vector? Vector is nothing but it's an array or it's a list. Vector is a list that stores the value in a proper order. Yes or no? You understand not? So this is what we call vector. And remember one thing, this is also called as one dimensional. Vector is one dimensional. One dimensional. And you may come across some terms like magnitude. So like they'll say magnitude. Sorry. Magnitude. And the one term called dimension. Magnitude, in other words, called length. Dimension, direction. Very simple. Then what is this length called? Length is nothing but now see 83, 72, 35, 33. It has a certain length. It starts from here and goes till 33. It has a length. So this is called magnitude. So now tell me, vector has magnitude or not? Yes, it has. Well, then what is dimension? As I told, this is direction. So does it have any directions? Yes, it has. If you go from left to right, it has one direction. And you can also come right to left. Either way you can go. Left to right to right to left. But it cannot go top to bottom. It cannot go like that. This is not possible because you do not have the value there. Okay. Next we're going to learn what is a matrix. Don't worry. Very simple. Now as we have seen that, as we have seen that, wait, it is waiting. My hand is waiting. This is called one vector. Suppose 1, 3, 5. This is one vector. Then what if I do not have only one vector? I do not have only one student mark here. Suppose this is science mark. This is idiot. This is math mark and this is social mark. What I call this? Social mark. Okay. And this is Rahul's mark. Now I do not have only one mark, one student's mark, but I have to enter many students' marks. Then what should I do? Suppose I have Ravi here. Ravi is a good student, by the way. He got 10, 5, 10. And Neha, I support gender equality, so I'll take Neha name also. So this is 7, 9, and 8. Neha is also a good student. So how do I present them? So this is what we call matrix. This is what we call matrix. When more than one vectors, when more than one vector arranged properly in order, in a order, it's called matrix. Very simple. All right, like if I just present them in a matrix form, like it could be like 1, 3, then 5, then here you have 10, oh sorry, 10, 5, 7, then I have 7, 9, 8. This is what we call matrix. Then let's understand what is the real application of matrix and vector in AI. So let me give you an example. Suppose I'm writing, suppose you are writing a message to your girlfriend. You're writing, hey, Neha, how are y. You're not writing u. You have written only y. Then what the suggest you some of the words like you, yet, young, yet. Are you getting my point? These are the words we give as the recommendation or suggestion. Okay, from WhatsApp. Then how does this thing happen? How this thing works? Let's understand that. So they simply use vectors and matrices and tensors. Okay, and use these techniques to solve this problem, to suggest you words. Let's understand how this thing works. Okay, so as I told you before, each of these words and letters, they have different vector numbers, like numerical vectors. Here has suppose 0 0.1, 0 0.3, sorry, 0 0.9 in 3 dimensions. Neha has a vector like 0 0.7, 0 0.8, and 0 0.9. And how has another vector that is called, right? Yes, that is 0 0.2, 0 0.3, and 0 0.8. Okay, now what is the next number? Yes, definitely R. R has, which is related to how? So I'll write like this. How has a vector 0 0.6, 0 0.9, and 0 0.8. And okay, these are the vectors. Now what AI does is, what the model does is, it simply tries to find out which vector is close to these words, these vectors. Now I have written how are, now see, and the vector, if I present the vector u in this form 0 0.3, 0 0.4, and 0 0.8. This is the vector that I used for u. Okay. So now the thing is, you have to understand. Now see, the vector how, the vector r, and the vector u. Don't you think if I present them in 3 dimensions, okay, if I present them there, not there exactly. Okay, if I present them there, they will be floating somewhere around here. Suppose if I present the point for how is located here, and R is located here, and U also located here. So they are close to each other. They are a cluster. Yes or no? And not only that, if I present that other word, and that is Neha, which is having a higher vector number, right? So it will be somewhere here. And suppose if I say yet, which is nowhere related to U, so it will have the vector number. Suppose it has a very far vector number, so it will be somewhere here, or the number somewhere here. So now what AI will do, it will try to find which vector is close to R. Which vector is close to R? This R. Now U, Y vector, U. This vector is close to R. That is the number of R is 0 0.6, 0 0.9, 0 0.8. Are you getting my point? So now, sorry for the glitch. So now AI will, now it has some a complex mathematical calculation like probability and all these things, and the cosine functions we have to calculate. Then only we have to suggest you what is the best outcome. So based on that, that AI model will push you U. After, if you have written Y, then the next word should come U. And the next word should come young. And the next word should come yes. Are you getting my point? So this is how, or this is why vectors and matrices are very important in AI. If you understood how to, like, what are the different functions of vectors and scalars and matrices, let's understand how to present them in Python. So for that, I would recommend you to open the Jupyter notebook. I already have opened that. The next thing is I would write is we have to import that NumPy library. Okay, import import NumPy. We'll use import command to import any library. Okay, import NumPy as np. Skip enter. So the program has been executed. The next thing is we have to create the array. If you don't know what is an array, then array is it's a list where we can store our numbers. Okay, so we use that array command to create our matrix. Okay, so now for this, if you really want to write a scalar number, a single point, you can simply write it like age equal to 34. This is a scalar, as you can see, this is a scalar number. Okay, but if I have to write, if I have to create a vector, then how would I do that? Then for that, I would say vec is equal to, so I'm just taking a variable name that is vec, or you can just use some other variable name, like you get A, B, C, D, anything you can just take. Okay, so I'm just taking vec is equal to np dot array. Like we imported numpy as np, so that is why we are just using that abbreviation np for numpy. Okay, numpy dot array, then open bracket, open parenthesis, sorry. Then we have to close it, then that another bracket within that, then write the numbers. What are the vectors? Suppose I've given an example of vectors, right? 0.1, 0.3, and 0.7. Now close the brackets. Now our vector has been created. Let's execute this. Yes. Now let's print and see whether the vect is working or not. Print VAC. Execute. Yes, it is working fine. So we have successfully created our first vector using NumPy library in Python. All right. The next thing is we have to create a matrix. So matrix, now for vector, we use one bracket. Yes or no? Then we have to, for matrix, we have to use double bracket. Okay, remember that. So max, I'm using another variable name, is equal to np dot array. Always remember we will use array to create matrix and vectors, all these things. Okay, so open parenthesis, then close it, then bracket. Sorry, within we have to write the bracket, then another bracket, because we are writing matrix. That means multiple vectors we need to write there. Okay, so I'll write that 1, 3, 5, one vector, comma. So each vectors will be separated with comma. Okay, now I'll use another bracket. Okay, 2, 4, 5, again close, again comma, again enter, again this one, this bracket, 5, 8, 9. Wow, great. Now it is done. Now it is okay. We have created our what? Matrix. Now let's execute this. Yes. Now let's print our mat variable. Let's see what is happening. Print mat. Wow, we have successfully created it. Okay. So that's all for today. This is how you can combine the maths and the deep context of AI and coding simultaneously. We'll do all these things every day. So stay connected and stay tuned for the next video. And the next video, we're going to talk about the vector addition, the vector operation that is used, and the techniques, and when we use vector addition, subtraction, multiplication, all these things we're going to discuss in the next video. Stay tuned. Till then, bye bye. Good night.